Hey guys, Orly here, founder of LifeVestInside. And I'm so grateful that you decided to kick off your week with me on the weekly Kindness Kickoff with Orly, coming at you every Monday where I do a reading from my book, Kindness Boomerang, How to Save the World and Yourself through 365 Daily Acts. And then I give you, myself, and all of us out there an exciting kindness challenge based on the reading. The book itself, if you want to grab your copy, there are 3 ways to get it. You could either check it out on the LifeVestInside website by going to lifevestinside.com. All the sales go directly to the nonprofit and help us continue to grow. They make for an awesome gift. You could also check it out on one of the online retailers, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, IndieBound, iTunes, Target. So check it out there. You can also win your copy here. In the very beginning of every month, we do a drawing where one person gets to win not only 1 but 2 copies of the book, one for themselves and then one to give forward to someone else. So how do you win? Simply by engaging on the platform, leaving your thoughts, your feedback, your comments, how you connected to that specific act, whether you're able to engage in it, what were some of the obstacles or difficulties. I love the comments you guys send my way, so keep them coming. They really do bring a tremendous smile to my face. Before we get into the reading for this week, I have a few exciting announcements to share with you guys because you're definitely a part of this. First off, number 1, some of you may or may not have seen, we have our new video collaboration that went out live. You could check it out on our YouTube channel. If you've not yet subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button. You could also hit the little bell icon, which basically will send you an email notification anytime we upload a new video so that you will be one of the first people to know. So check that out. In addition, I would say it was a month ago, I shared with each of you guys about something called the Speaker Slam, which is an inspirational speaking competition. And I entered into it for the first round. There were 82 people that entered, and 12 people were going to be selected to move on to the final round. Thanks to each and every one of you that took the time to cast your vote and show your support, I was selected as one of the 12 people to move on to the final round, which happened to be this past Thursday. I'm very, very excited to now announce, and the theme and the topic was resilience. I'm very excited to announce that I got first place in that competition. And I'm very, very grateful to each and every one of you for helping me to get there. So thank you so much for that. I wanted to be able to celebrate with you guys and share just a bit of that with you as well. All right. Also, another update to let you guys know about. Dance for Kindness, our worldwide flash mob that happens in over 50 countries around the world. Generally, we already have group leader registration open. I know that some of you have been reaching out to me and asking me questions like, when can we register to become group leaders? I know that it's a bit delayed, and the reason for that is, as you guys know, there are question marks everywhere as to what's going to happen from now until November. But stay tuned. I'm hoping that within a couple weeks from now, I will open it up and have 2 options. One, if the situation as it is in the world gets to the point where we cannot be together come November, and 1, if we're able to be together. So just have a little bit of patience with that, and I assure you that I'm working on getting that up and running, and you should see that come the very, very beginning of July. Another really exciting announcement to let you guys know about for some of you that might be interested, LifeVestInside is launching this school year our online kindness curriculum and grant opportunity for schools. It is really incredible. It's focused on the arts and humanities. If you want to learn more, you can check it out by going to lifevestinside.com. And under our initiatives, click on Kindness Grant. So not only is it a curriculum that you can implement in your school, whether it be physical or virtual, but also you have the opportunity for your school to win a $1,500 grant so that you can continue doing kindness activities within your school. So just wanted to give you a few of those updates. All right. Oh, one last update. I'm so sorry. I know lots of updates, lots of things going on. This past Friday, we released our Kindness Flash for the month. For those of you that don't receive the Kindness Flash, it's a monthly newsletter that goes out, and it's focused on a specific theme. And every month has a different theme, and within it are both content that we create and curate, all to do with that theme. It's a really great newsletter. And I'm excited because we just this month created a new section in the newsletter called Spotlight on Kindness. So we basically choose whether it be an individual or an entity or an organization that's doing really great things in the space of kindness and connectivity and positivity, and we feature them there and then give an opportunity for you guys to connect with them. Well, the company that we featured this month is called Daily Aloha. It is an awesome app. You guys got to check it out. It's really amazing. It's a free app. I'm not going to go into sharing with you the whole story about how it came about. You'll be able to check that out directly in the newsletter. You could check it out on our website. You'll see all the newsletters on our blog. But basically, the way that it works is that every day they post up a question, okay? And then people, similar to how, how sometimes you see these boards and people write on Post-it notes answers to questions and they, pin it onto the board. So similar to that, they ask a question at the beginning of every day. Okay, so let's say, for example, what does kindness mean to you? And everybody writes down what their answer is, and it sort of gets like virtually pinned to this board, and you get to see all the responses, and it's all positive. This is completely a positive, amazing space, which is what I love most about it. Happens to be, we are doing a partnership with Daily Aloha this coming Friday, June 25th, where they're going to be posing a LifeVestInside question. So it's a question that was presented to them by LifeVestInside. It's going to have our logo on there. You guys can write your answers on there. So I would, if I were you, download the app. You don't have to only wait for our challenge. You can do this every day. Check it out, see what it's about. And you'll see that on June 25th, this Friday, you'll have the LifeVestInside question, and then we'll be able to get all the answers and feature your answers and things like that. So it's really, really cool. Check that out. The last update, it's been busy. There's been a lot of stuff going on. Am I going to tell you? One of the other things that I shared this past week, it was pretty last minute, is called the Kindness Journey. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of overview what this is. As some of you know, I recently moved. I now have a dual citizenship, and I'm living currently in Jerusalem from New York originally. I mean, my accent gives it away, doesn't it? Anyways, basically, when I first got here 3 months ago, beginning of March, I said, how cool would it be to document my journey in the country for the first 100 days and take you guys to places, digitally, just be able to show around. I wasn't going to be doing it through LifeVestInside. I was just doing it on my personal Facebook page where people get to see the country and sort of see what the process is of like being like a new immigrant in a new city with a different language and everything's all different. Turns out about a couple of days after I got here, Corona broke out and everything closed down. And I didn't exactly think there was going to be much interesting things to show you just in my apartment. So I wasn't able to do it. But during the past couple months, met some incredible friends. One of them works for a virtual tourism company. Not a virtual tourism, a tourism company here in Jerusalem, in Israel. And they said to me, how cool would it be if we can take people around virtually to different places in the country and give them a chance to sort of see, our neighborhood because they can't travel right now. So I said, all right, guys, why don't we take it another level up? Why don't we actually, this can be a really cool way that could be done through LifeVestInside where you guys are getting to learn more a little bit about me, okay, as being the founder of the organization, showing you these different locations and giving you a little bit about the history of it, about the culture of it. But then, and here's the cool part, okay, we get to open it up to you guys that are going to be watching to also join in the process by coming on board to one of our weekly live viewings and also taking us around your neighborhood. Because I think we can all agree that education is the key to tolerance. And so when we get to learn about one another's culture, one another's identity, like where we're living, suddenly there's so many more points of connection than there is of separation. And that's really where change begins, right? That's what it's all about. So I just this past Thursday did it. We did it through Facebook Live. I was hoping to send it over to YouTube also, but I couldn't figure out the technology in time. We're doing it via Zoom, and it's going to be every Thursday. We're saying that it's going to be 7 p.m. Israel time, which is like 5 p.m. Europe time, which is 12 p.m. New York East Coast time, and 9 a.m. Pacific time. I know there are other time zones. I apologize. I'm not mentioning them all, but just to give you an idea. Anyways, it's going to be like a 15 to 20 minute live stream. And based on suggestions that you give us, we'll go to other locations in the future. And then eventually even be able to go to certain people's homes even within the city and engage in kindness with different people within the city and open it up for you. Maybe you're really interested in showing people around your city. I don't know. Maybe it's a cool thing they always wanted to do. You'll have an opportunity to do that as well. So I'm sharing all this to let you know to tune in this coming Thursday. And I'm going to do my best to actually get it posted up on YouTube and on Facebook on Thursday. So you'll be able to check it out there and learn more. And I'll give you more information about this in next week's Kindness Kickoff. I'm going to jump right in. I'm so sorry. I know it took a very long time with updates, but there's a lot of exciting things and I don't want you guys to miss out. So today's act is coming to us from June 22nd. And the act goes as follows. Deciding whether to call or text. When in doubt, make the call. It's more personal. Plus, it has the added bonus of establishing a clear line of communication. Quote, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place, by George Bernard Shaw. And the reflection, in this age of technology, we have so many options to communicate with those in our lives. It's a wonder how we get along without the gadgets and gizmos that appear to make our lives easier. We have access to people all over the world at the press of a button, yet there seems to be something missing. The human voice is an amazing thing. The tone, the cadence, the volume can all send a greater message than the words themselves. A voice at the other end of the phone becomes much more personal and meaningful than a simple text or email. Texts serve a purpose, but so much gets lost, and they are often the source of misunderstanding. I tell you what's really funny. Before I started reading this just now, live here, the person that I was thinking about when I saw the act was my grandma, because my grandma, my whole family's back in New York, and I love my family very much, very close with them. It's not easy to be so far away from your family. And the reason I thought of her is because, as it says, deciding whether to call or text, pick up the phone and make that phone call. And just earlier today, I had sent my grandmother a message on WhatsApp, but then I said, you know what, I'm going to call her. She has some she's technologically behind, okay, but as many grandmothers may be, but she's the cutest person in the whole entire world. And I knew that it was a very important thing that I called her because it just so happened. So yesterday was Father's Day in the States, at least. I don't know if they celebrate it around the world. And on Saturday was my grandfather's birthday, who passed away now 5 years ago. And ever since my grandpa passed away, my grandma really hasn't been the same. Whenever I call her and we talk about him, she always cries. And as some of you may or may not know, I started a separate initiative in his memory called Abraham's Legacy. It's an app for prayer that connects people around the world through prayer. And it came about when he was sick and we were praying for him in the hospital to get well. It's a really cool app. You can check it out on iOS and Android. But anyways, that's not the point. So it was my grandpa's, it was his birthday this past Saturday, and yesterday was Father's Day. So that causes a lot of reason to sort of think about my grandpa even more so than general. And I knew that she would be having a very rough time with it. And so I picked up the phone and had a phone call with her. And more exciting than that, turns out that tonight there is a huge, amazing entity and organization that is going to be actually showcasing the Abraham's Legacy app at 7:45 p.m. New York time. And so somebody sent me the clip of them talking about it, and I sent it to her, and she was so happy. It really brought her a tremendous amount of joy. So I wanted to share that with you, but what's funny, I tell you, it's so fun. I always laugh how this happens. As I'm reading this, and it's talking about here, the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. That's the quote. I realized that actually happened to me last night. So there's a friend of mine here that I met in Israel. He lives in Tel Aviv. An amazing guy. His name is Shai. Shai, I know that you watch these videos, so I hope you're watching this. And we were working on finding a time to meet because things have been so hectic and busy that sometimes we don't have the time. We don't even realize the time passing us by. And so we were initially planning to meet yesterday in Jerusalem. And in the morning, he had sent me a message saying that he had something come up, and so he wasn't going to be able to make it into Jerusalem. And when I saw that, I understood, okay, we weren't meeting today, and I decided to really sort of cut off my communication yesterday. What do I mean cut off my communication? Meaning I sort of turned my phone on silent, and I took the day for myself. I really needed it. Had a crazy week last week, going constantly nonstop, and I always talk about how we have to start with kindness for ourselves. So I decided to take a good portion of the day off, and I wasn't really looking at my phone at all. Turns out, later in the day, I am taking a look and finally getting back online and answering my emails and WhatsApps that have come through over the course of the past, 24 or 36 hours. And I see that he sent me a message saying that his meeting got canceled and he was going to be able to come in as we initially scheduled at, I think it was 5 p.m. or something like that. And then sent another message when he was here. Now you have to understand, he got into a car and drove, and probably took him even longer than an hour to get here. And I had no clue. And I basically completely missed him, and he ended up going back. I felt terrible. I can't tell you how bad I felt when I saw the message and realized that he came all the way to meet with me, and I didn't even get to meet with him. I felt really like a terrible person. I knew I didn't do it purposely, obviously, but I felt horrible. And reading this, talking about the idea of picking up the phone and helping us to sometimes sort through the miscommunication, is because it says here, texts serve a purpose, but they get lost, and they're often the source of misunderstanding. I mean, talk about a perfect example of that. That literally just happened to me less than 24 hours ago. So to Shai, if you're watching, I want to send a tremendous apology for that misunderstanding, that I should have picked up the phone and just made the phone call. It could have saved a lot of trouble. So sending out a challenge to all of us this week, that when you're in that question of whether you should send that text or call, whether it be for something that's business oriented, or even more so for personal oriented, calling a family member or sending them a text and checking up on them, or a friend you haven't spoken to a while, or somebody whose birthday it is. Of course, it's easier to just communicate and send a text or send a WhatsApp or Facebook message or whatever. But picking up the phone and taking that extra step, taking that extra minute, or doing a Zoom video call or doing a FaceTime call, whatever it might be, it really adds a tremendous amount more value to the person on the other end. It makes them feel seen, it makes them feel heard, it makes them feel that you care even more so. So I'm not asking you to do this for every phone call, for every communication you have with people. It's not possible. At the end of the day, we're human beings, we have loads of schedules. You can't be there all the time for everybody. We have to understand that. But take extra heed. That's somebody that you know in your heart, okay, in your mind, that they would appreciate the actual picking up that phone to just call them. Do it. And you'll come to see just how amazing it can be in terms of the kindness that you're spreading to them, and the way that you're making them feel, and the way that you'll end up feeling also as a result of it. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much once again for tuning into the Kindness Kickoff. I hope to see you again next week. And remember, it's kindness that keeps the world afloat. So keep spreading positivity. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. And looking forward to seeing you next week. Love you all. Mwah.